Previous videos we have already checked about NumPy and pandas. In this video, let's go through Matplotlib library. So let's execute this and let's import like matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and let's see how can we use this. So if you observe over here, in X I am taking 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in Y I am taking 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Let's see how I am plotting these two values. So it's really simple. Plt.plot x comma y. If we give like this, it will plot us. So let's see. So here if you observe, on x-axis we are having x, and on y-axis we are having y. So for 0, it is giving us value 10, and similarly for 1, it is giving us value 20, and for uh, like 2, it is giving us value 30. Like that, this line will come. Like when we are using matplotlib in .py files, then you need to use this plt.show. Here, even if you use or you will not use, the corresponding diagram will be shown over here. Okay, but when you are using it in .py files, it is compulsory to use plt.show. And there is some other plot, that is scatter plot. If you are using directly plt.plot, it will be giving you a straight line or the line that is passing through those points. But instead of that, if you want some distinct points, like at 0 and 10 you want some point, and similarly at 1 and 20 you want some point, then you need to use this scatter plot. So let's see how it is looking. So here if you observe, 0 and 10 it is giving us the point, and similarly at 1 and 20 it is giving us the point, and at 2 and 30 it is giving us the point, and 3 and 40 is like that. All the points will be there. That is scatter plot. Okay, and similarly you can randomly plot something. So here if you observe, in this list I am taking values from -3 to +3, and if we observe over here, these are all the square values of it. So how will the curve look like? You might be thinking it will be some parabola because all these are square values, but let's see how it is looking. So here if you observe, it is just connecting all those points using straight lines. It is not exactly looking like some smooth curve. But if we see the square, it will be looking like a smooth curve, that is parabola. And like if you wanted to get that curve, like let's see how to do that. Initially, let's do some scatter plot. Okay. So this scatter plot is giving some points like this. By just connecting smoothly all these points, we'll be getting the a smoothed curve or parabola shape. But if you wanted to get exactly using plt.plot, then what you need to do is you need to find so many points. Okay, so if you are getting like here one point, here one point, here one point, like that, if you have more number of points, then the curve will look like more smoothed. So in order to generate more number of points, we'll be using something from numpy.linspace. So what I'll be doing, I'll be taking starting index as starting number as -3, and the last one as +3, and I'll be dividing that into 500 pieces, or I'll be getting 500 points in the range from -3 to +3, which are of equidistant. Okay, and on all those, what I'm doing the square and I'm giving it to the plot. Now you will be getting some smoothed curve. So let's see. So here if you observe, it is very smooth, right? It is looking like some parabola exactly. But when it comes to here, it is just connecting this point and this point, and then it is connecting this point and this point, and then it is connecting this point and this point, like that. It is not looking smooth. Okay. It By this we can get to know that it might look like parabola, but if you want to exactly see the curve, then you need to use something like this, some linspace, so that you'll get more number of points in between +3 to -3, and on all those points we'll be squaring the values and we'll be plotting those. Like that you'll be getting this. So till this point we have seen how to like do some normal plot using straight lines, or how to do scatter plot. There are several other plots. Okay, so it will be really difficult to consider or tell all the plots. So I'll just like whenever I'm using the plot, like in future we'll be doing some exercises and all. At that point of time, if you are going across any plot, then I'll be explaining those in very clear manner. For now, just for understanding purpose, I'm going through all this. Okay. Now here if you observe till this point, there is no x label and y label. Okay, so you don't know what is this x is and you don't know what is this y is. You can also mention specifically like this is x and this is x square, like that. So here if you see, this is like, if it is x, it is x square, right? Like that. If you wanted to give some label, you can give. So let's see how to give that. So we can give like on x-axis we can give x label and you can write some string, and similarly on y-axis you can give some y label and that will be shown on y-axis, and you can also give some title like this. Okay, this is for the whole graph. Let's execute this, then you'll understand better. So here if you observe, here it is showing this x label, and here it is showing the y label, and here it is showing the overall graph title. Okay, I hope you guys understood. And you can also change the style of this line. Okay, you can tell that like make it colorful or make it to some other color. And here if you see, it is a like single straight line or some dark line, right? You can also change the style of the line like this, and you can also change the width like that. You can do several stylings to this particular curve. So let's see how it is doing. So here if you observe, line width it is taking 5 and the color it is giving it as green, and style is like this. So now let's plot several plots in the same plot. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm taking like values from -9 to +9 and 1000 values in between I'm taking, and also all those values I'm squaring, and for that I'm giving color as green and line width as this and line style as something else, and label also I'm giving it to be x square. Okay, and I'm taking some other range and I'm dividing it to 1000 points, and then there also I'm cubing it. Okay, here I'm squaring it, whereas here I'm cubing it, and for that I'm giving some red color and line width and also line style I'm giving. And also there is something called label. We'll see what this label is. And also for this we are taking x is from -3 to +3, and x bar 4 is the y, and for that we are giving color blue, line width as 5 and line style this one. Okay, and x label we are giving x and y label we are giving y, and there is something called as legend, so you will understand what legend is, and title we are giving, and also there is something called as grid, and we are doing this plot dot show. Let's see. So on executing this we are getting these curves. So this dot legend will be showing us like this, and you might be thinking like from where we got these x square y like x cube and x power 4. Those we are getting from this label. Okay, so this label will be useful in such case. Whenever you are trying to use the legend, then this label will be useful. And by seeing this, you can tell that this is our x square, and this is our x power 4, and this will be our x cube. Okay, like that we can interpret our graphs, like we can do something like that. And also if you wanted to have grid like this, so in the background if you see, there are grids. For that, like we are using this. Okay, because of this we are getting that grid. And similarly, like if you wanted to have multiple plots separately at the same point of time, then you need to divide the plot into different types. Okay, so here I'm telling that there will be two rows and two columns. That means like total four diagrams I need, and for the first diagram you need to fill with these. Okay, and I'm specifying that this is telling about rows and this is telling about columns, and this is telling about the figure number. Okay, so 221 means uh, two rows and two columns are there, and in that the first one like fill it with this graph. Okay, so here I'm saying -9 to 9 and it's square. Okay, and I'm giving x label and y label. And similarly for the second graph, I'm taking -4.5 to +4.5 and I'm cubing it. And in the third graph, I'm giving x and x bar 4, and I'm giving the color to be blue and line width to be 5 and all those things. And similarly in the plot number 4, we are having x and x bar 5. So let's execute this and see, then you will get to know better. So here if you observe, we are getting four different graphs. So these 2 and 2 denoting there are four different graphs, and there will be two rows and uh, two columns, and these are two rows. And this one is denoting about this first one. So here we are having x and x square, and similarly x and x cube, x and x power 4, and x and x power 5. Okay. So here I am using something called as tight layout, which makes it less tight. So without this, the graph will be very nearby. And let's see how it is looking without this. So here if you see, all the graphs are very near, and this y label is getting onto this graph, and similarly here the y label is getting onto this graph. So in order to make it less tight, we can use this tight layout. Okay. So using that, we'll make it loose, and we can clearly see what are all the x labels and y labels that are present. So I hope till this point everything is clear. And from the next video, we'll be moving on to direct machine learning and deep learning concepts. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have any doubts, please comment it down. And thank you.